Our first heat wave of the year is here with temperatures approaching the upper 90s today. Our Ross DeMattei is live in Center City for us this morning. And Ross, these extreme temperatures are not just uncomfortable, but they bring along health risks as well. Good morning.
Good morning, Jan. I dread these kinds of heat waves, and really the name of the game over the next 4 days is going to be staying cool and staying hydrated. So the best advice is to spend as much time indoors in the air conditioning as you possibly can. You don't have to tell me twice. And then on the hydration end, really water is king. You want to stay away from the alcohol and the sugary drinks. Let's talk about what we're dealing with here. Philadelphia's health commissioner has declared this a heat health emergency starting at noon today. We know the temperatures are going to quickly climb, kicking off our first heat wave of the year. Highs will be in the 90s each of the next 4 days, and it's going to feel even hotter than that, more like the triple digits. And we know at those temperatures, heat exhaustion and heat stroke become a serious concern, which is why you should really be hydrating and staying cool around the clock. Also, never leave people or pets in a car for any amount of time. That's not safe. The heat builds quickly, and it can become deadly in minutes. And please, please do not forget about your pets. They should be kept indoors, preferably indoors, or in a shaded area with clean, cool drinking water. And because of this extreme heat, air quality is also a concern. The Philadelphia Department of Public Health issued a code orange air quality action for today, meaning that the air can be unhealthy for sensitive groups like young children, older adults, and people with respiratory issues. A code orange is also in effect for Bucks, Montgomery, Chester, Delaware, Lehigh, Northampton, and Berks counties, along with parts of South Jersey. So just take note of that. Let's bring in a special guest now because we want to continue our coverage and get your vehicle ready for this heat wave. So who else better than Jana Tidwell from AAA to talk to us? And you came prepared. I love this. Your whole kit that you, I assume, drive around with during the summer months. What do you encourage people to pack?
Now is the time to pack a vehicle emergency kit and forget about it. We talk about this a lot in the winter and people realize there are extra things you need, but the same is true during the summer months. So your staples are always a vehicle emergency pack that includes jumper cables, flares or reflective triangles, LED sticks, ponchos. We have a lot of those rainstorms that come through in the summer months. Plenty of umbrellas, either the small size or the big size, first aid kit, an extra power source for your cell phones to charge it definitely helps so that you don't continue to drain the battery if you're stuck for any reason. And in the summer, non-perishable snack foods, plenty of extra water, sunscreen, a hat or a visor, beach towels or blankets, and of course a reflector jersey if you have to do any work around your car off to the side of the road. You did a great job talking about what people need to do, but when you leave the comforts of inside, you have to get in your car to get to work or to get someplace. You want to make sure that it is prepared and not just to run, but in the instance that you may get stuck.
And we come to rely on our vehicles sometimes, maybe more than we should, when they're not always 100% dependable, especially in these conditions. So let's take a quick walk over here. Under the hood, what are you keeping an eye on, especially with the heat?
What most people don't realize is the heat is more damaging to your car battery than the bone-chilling, sub-freezing temperatures of the winter. So I can promise you that come the end of the week, this heat wave will have a cumulative effect on car batteries throughout the region. If you can't remember the last time you replaced it, you need to have it checked to see if the strength and the power is still there, because always better to have it checked, find out that it's teetering, have it replaced so that you're not in a situation where you're getting ready for a summer road trip or you're on vacation and that car battery dies. Better to have it replaced in a convenient way.
So true. And you were telling me the typical timeline is 3 to 5 years for a battery, but that can be even sped up with some of these heat waves that we deal with, this extreme heat.
Absolutely. Your vehicle may survive this heat wave, and if it does, that's great, but it may not survive the next one. If you can't remember when you last had it replaced, now's the time to have it checked. And you also need to remember, keep driving your car. A car that sits, that drains the car battery. Drive the car every day, at least 10 miles or so to keep that running. Pay attention to how you're draining the battery. Charging all of those things that we're so used to charging, that drains the battery as well. So just be careful during the summer months.
Battery's the key thing to keep an eye on. All right, Jan, there you have it. We got you, the pets, and the car all prepared for this heat wave. Back to you.
Jana Tidwell is the most prepared person in the Delaware Valley, I do believe, Ross.
I would like to ride with Jana in these kinds of weather conditions because there's no one better prepared.
You guys have everything covered.